Before we get started, check this out. This is Wyatt talking shit. I don't think I've even showed you guys this or even really talked with Wyatt or had him on the channel in a long ass time, but he did get 50 Shades of Gray painted and it is black. Look at this shit. Get used to seeing this. It's race season, boy. I'm about to send him a Snapchat back. I'll just send back to him, bet. Anyways, guys, to start off this video, just wanted to say, hopefully you guys didn't get too bored waiting. I have been catching up on manifolds. I did get these last two made that I needed to make that were due. And I do have one more to make, but I have, they just bought it like a week ago and I'm still waiting on flanges. So once the flanges show up, I will do that. But for now, I have quite a long time, actually, a week or two to work on just the RX-7. So right now I'm gonna be working on making sure the rear axle is in there somewhat straight. So right now what I have set up is I have these plumb bobs on both sides, front and rear on the hub. So basically front side of the hub this way and front side this way. So basically going on the fronts, we basically put it center on center. I'm basically gonna measure just what the wheelbase would be on both sides and just kind of see. I'm pretty positive that the wheelbase on both sides will be really close right now, so it should need very fine adjustment, hardly any adjustment. I also earlier today did make sure the wishbone was in there centered. I basically just measured from my 4-link brackets into the frame rails, because when I put my 4-link brackets on there, it actually like centers the whole. Either way, the rear axle is centered for the most part. I'm gonna double check that also. I am gonna put it on an alignment rack before I actually send it, but for now, I'm just gonna measure with plumb bobs. That way I get it as close as I can so I don't have to do any crazy adjustments on the alignment rack. I also did make sure that the pinion angle was right. So the pinion angle right now is at like 1.8 degrees up or 2 degrees up, which is right about where I want it. I want it about within 1 to 3 degrees up. So I can always adjust that really easily, but I did that so that way once Colin comes over and measures the drive shaft, I don't have it like super far off. I had a feeling I had it really close. I just didn't want to make sure that it was down or way up, because then the measurement would be messed up. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I had to go back and buy 2 more plumb bobs because I don't know what I did with the other ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and set those up on this side, and now I'm gonna get to measuring. How loose? You want me to measure these? No one's here to help me measure. Huh? Where's Wyatt at? Lucy. Hey, where's Wyatt at? I need some help. He's not here to help me. Lucy. Hey. Hey, go grab the tape measure. Lucy. Hey. Hey. What? Basically just using this part right here as like the front part of what would be the center of the rear axle, even though now we got it on there, you can see how it works. Super simple. Just the front side of what would be like the hub over here. Basically just measuring from front side to front side, and that'll give us our center to center on this, basically giving us our wheelbase. So I'm gonna go ahead and put one on this front side and then take out the tape measure. Alrighty, I got this all set up. So just trying to show you guys what I'm doing. So as you can see, I have this set at right at 10 inches. I have it just offset by 10 inches because this spaces the tape measure off the ground, and so it just doesn't work all that great. So I just set it to 10 inches because right here is super low and works good. Now over here, it's at right on 105 inches almost perfectly. So that gives this side right here a wheelbase of 95 inches, which the stock wheelbase on this is 95.3, I guess. And that's the thing, right, is it's not gonna be perfect. So in an ideal world, most people would wanna lengthen their wheelbase and make it longer than what stock is, but I don't have a lot of room in the fender to actually push the rear axle backwards at all. Now I know the driver's side tire fits really good in the wheel well, so I'm gonna leave this side and I'm gonna put the other side and match it to this side. So this side over here isn't exactly 95 inches. This one is, so I offset this one to 20, but right at 20, and this side is 114 and 7/8. So it's really 94 and 7/8. So it's right there. It just needs a 1/4 of an inch to go backwards. Now to do this, I'm going to just be pushing this lower bar that's right here, one of the 4-link bars, this way to kick the rear axle this way a little bit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and adjust this bar out a little bit. And then I have to also adjust the top bar with it, or else it'll tighten up and bind. So super simple. That being said, also, I don't actually know if this is the right way. I have a lot of people tell me that they just get the car close, and like setting it up neutral might not mean that it'll go straight. So I have no clue if any of this is actually gonna help. It just makes me feel better about this, because I feel like I did all of the whole 4-link stuff wrong. So I don't wanna have any issues with it going different directions and everything. So I'm gonna set it up as neutral as I can get it, with it just basically straight in there, everything zeroed out as close as I can get it, and see what it does, I guess. Check it out. Basically 105 inches on this side, and also 105 inches on this side. It actually wasn't too bad to adjust, just had to, basically the 2 bottom bars, I just adjusted the 2 bottom bars. You have to spin one until it doesn't spin anymore, because as you spin one, it adjusts it like side to side, so then the other side gets too short. So basically, gotta go spin one, and then spin the other, and then spin the other. You just go back and forth until you get it, until I got it where I could get it at exactly, well, it's not exact 105 inches, but I mean, if we're within a couple millimeters, I'm happy with that. And then I also did check the pinion angle, and right now it's at 2.9 degrees. So I am gonna double check that once I put the wheels and tires back on and tighten all the jam nuts. I may need to adjust that a little bit, which that shouldn't be all too hard to adjust. I just need to adjust the top bars and pull them forward. So it's actually pretty cool. So this is my drive shaft over here. This was what we used when it had the stock rear axle on it. So it just has this little teeny tiny flange down there for the stock axle. But I'm excited because I already put the drive shaft up in there, and it's too long. So it'll be really easy for him to just shorten down the one side and put a new flange on it for me. Doesn't have to make me a whole new drive shaft. So that's super simple. Really excited about that. So I'm gonna hit him up, see if he can come over, take some measurements, and then probably get the hell out of here. So for tonight, what I'm gonna do now is jack the car back up and then tighten all of the jam nuts on the 4-link bars, and so that way they don't go anywhere. So now basically I won't ever have to adjust those bars again as far as how long they are, and as long as I don't take them off and mess up what sides they go on. So if I ever need to do a bar adjustment to either like add bite to the car or take bite away from it, I just move the holes together. So it should be really simple to do, really easy. Basically, I'm just guessing with the angles of the bars right now and hoping that it's on the anti-squat line. And if it's not, then we'll just have to adjust the bars from there. So super simple, just basically trial and error. But I'm gonna go ahead and jack this thing up and tighten these jam nuts. All the jam nuts are tightened up, wheels are back on for now. I'm gonna take them right back off tomorrow to do all the brake line stuff, but check this out, guys. So the stock suspension on the front has a shit ton of travel, and the wheel actually isn't off the ground yet. It's almost off. I still can't rotate the tire, so it's still touching a little bit, but it's almost off the ground. So this is pre-wheelie. This is how much the front nose is gonna come up. It's gonna look ridiculous. That's so much travel up front. Like, I think I measured it. I think it's like 6 or 7 inches of travel up front. So I'm definitely gonna have to, it is just the stock shock and spring up front. It is really bouncy and they don't dampen at all. I'm hoping this thing doesn't wheelie, but if it does wheelie, I have an idea of Frankensteining some front shocks on it that are nicer shocks and different springs, so I can adjust it. Worst case scenario, it's just gonna be a pain in the ass to make them. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys liked this video. Really simple, just a little update of the RX-7. I actually don't even know if I showed you guys this or not, but I did get all the tubs and stuff rolled and painted. It's all Linexed or whatever this, it's Herculiner. Works really good, it's really flexible. Yeah, super excited about it.
I used caulk for all the seams and it worked really well, just some regular silicone. I think it was called Big Stretch, stuff that we used for painting. And yeah, I was gonna make a video on it and I don't know what happened to all the footage, so sorry about that, guys. If you guys want to check out some of the pictures from it, go check out my Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram if you would like to. I do post a lot more on there. Well, I'm going to try and post more on YouTube now, but I do post more on my Instagram. And also, I do have more Metigulous Weld and Fab shirts if anybody's interested in them. I actually do have a pretty cool shirt that should be here tomorrow, actually, that I can show you guys. That is actually a dad bod shirt, so should be pretty cool. And hope you guys are excited for this RX-7. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. And until next time, guys, I appreciate all y'all watching. And tomorrow, I'm gonna be working on the brake lines. So hopefully I get the brake lines done tomorrow and I'll be able to make a video on that also. Pretty stoked to get this thing going. Shout out Kyle. I think the RX-7 is gonna be driving before Kyle's MR2 is done. At Kyle, get your shit done. Anyways, thank you for watching. And until next time, see ya.